Hello everyone, I'm Bra Mithra. Welcome back. It is the second Ruffian, the second showdown, second Ruffian phase of the Townsfolk Tussle. Part 2 of Season 2. Just a quick thing to how I do things on the channel. First off, welcome to my channel. If you don't watch my Kingdom Death stuff, you're here just for the Townsfolk Tussle. This is the second part. How I do things is I record an intro after I do all the playing and everything, and I usually give it time, like a day or two, and then I respond to comments and things from the first video, rules clarifications, stuff that happened, any kind of things that I see that get brought up about the video. I try to clarify them. If I made a mistake, I try to catch it in editing, or if it's a mistake I'd want to talk about, I usually talk about it now in the intro. So that is why there's usually like a gap between the uploads. If you watch my Season 1, which was on Tabletop Simulator, there wasn't really much of a break. I just did them right in a row because I was responding to chat or I played it live. So, in the physical versions of games, like Kingdom Death, I always give it a little bit of time so I can respond to everybody's comments who watches, because it's so very humbling that so many people watch. And I want to make sure I try to help as many people as I can. So, with that, we got 2 or 3 things I want to clarify. Just because I didn't do a very good job explaining it, and it's worth explaining. So, first off, there was a moment where the farthest townsfolk got targeted, but it targeted Yancey. Yancey has an ability where if the next action card from a ruffian targets a single townsfolk. So in that situation, it was the farthest townsfolk, which is still a single target, right? Even if there's 2 people tied, you do a roll-off and you're only going to target one of them. So it will automatically change that one single target to be Yancey. So even if Yancey's right next to the monster, it automatically will target him. So that's how the flow works. First you read it, the flow of the card. That's the other thing I'm going to talk about after this in a second, is the flow of cards. Next, I've got the board set up here for... you can see, here it is. This is the board. It's set up still with wagons here, and I've got some stuff out here. So, let's go first. You can see we've got the difference between a green card, this is a feature card, and a brown or a red card, which is an obstacle. So, features, you need to be inside of them to interact with. So, in this case, last video, I was adjacent to the Mushroom Grove, and I activated it. However, with an obstacle, you need to be adjacent because you can't move over them. So, features, you need to be inside, you need to be on the tile to interact with them. Obstacles, you need to be adjacent. So, with that one, I made the mistake there with these two, with the green. So with the mushroom patch, I should have been inside. So if you look here, I would need to have moved completely in. I still had the necessary amount of movement for this situation, so I should have moved in completely, and then I'd be able to roll and interact with it. If you're here, you can't interact. However, with an obstacle, you may interact being adjacent. So then there was another situation that arose with AI card flow. Now, AI card flow takes a second to grasp, right? It's not just even this is one of the great things about Townsfolk Tussle, right? It's a simplified version of Kingdom Death, and flow, AI card flow, is something that's not it takes a second to get used to, right? The way things read, you think there's different stages of a card, and that's true that there are. The cards are broken up by lines. Even in Kingdom Death, cards are broken up by lines, and Townsfolk Tussle, this next situation isn't unique to Townsfolk Tussle. There was a huge debate even for Kingdom Death, where how this AI cards would work and how the flows of card read. So there was a situation here with Wagums, who was outside of, here it is, here's the card. It's the What's That Smell card. And if you read here, it's got a break point here, like a line. So first, how you do this card is you're going to look at, this is the name of the card. You'll do this you'll read the flavor text. Now you'll select a target. And this is all townsfolk inside of a terrain piece. Now, if we go down to look here at the board, we've got, actually I'm going to move him here just for example. We've got only Norman here is the only one inside of a terrain piece. So Norman is the one who is going to be selected as the target. He is now selected. The target has been chosen. Now that he's the one who will now be affected. There was a target, now we move down. Norman is the one who's being affected. Attempt to move completely into the closest terrain feature. Each target, which is right now Norman, looks down and finds themselves knee-deep in a helping of doggy droppings. They take 1 damage and must unequip any equipped leg gear. Any target that did not have leg gear equipped loses 1 movement. So, now we will play through this card. He's going to attempt to move in. Now he's completely in. Now what do you do with Norman? Well, Norman gets pushed adjacent. Now Norman is now outside of the terrain. But if you read the card, again, Norman was already targeted before all this happened. So he's still a target in this case. So even with him being outside of the terrain now, he's still going to be a target. And that will always work for all things like this. And like I said, it's not, this is something that, not Townsfolk Tussle unique. Let me show you another one. This plays out exactly the same. This is a Kingdom Death card that plays exactly the same as this one and has a huge amount. The same thing happened in the Kingdom Death community. At the end of the monster's turn, you target a random survivor in the trample zone. See, and then the trample zone is any one of these blue squares, right? I'll show you on the board using wagons. So here in this, we'll put this here and do this like this. So if this were to happen with wagons, you would now have any of these squares, 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 any of these squares. As you see, Norman here is in the trample zone. Now let's go ahead, we'll go back to the card, we'll look at it. And then at the end of the monster's turn, random survivor in the trample zone. Norman was the only one in that zone, so he's definitely the target now. Now here's again a line break, you can see it, and then it's full move through the target. Move the monster through and past the survivor. If there's no target, full move forward. Now there's already a target, so let's explain how this would have worked. Now let's say you had Norman had the ability to move at that little line. Before the line happened, so now he's in the trample zone. Let's say he moves here, right? Now, reading this, you would think that, oh, he just moved himself out of the trample zone. Now he's no longer a target. No, that's not true. He was already targeted. So, that's just how, and then what would happen is you could move him, say you move to here, this would still happen. He would just come towards you because he could still reach you. So, that is how it works. So just a quick thing of AI card flow, you read it in stages, this, and once this happens, it will trigger this. If there was a third one, they're sometimes labeled after effects. So that's how it works. They're just, remember, just the cards are stages. So you just read it through, and that happens, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It takes a minute to learn that, right? It's something you would think that each thing would have its own condition, but they don't. It's a flow. It's a flow down the card. Once the condition's met, that condition remains met throughout all the stages, and each stage is then triggered based on all the previous stages above it. So it just helps you read through. Just remember each one of the breaks, own thing. Then we'll go one more example here. So with the cornfield, let's just read it, because again, this is a feature, so you can go into it. If a townsfolk begins their turn inside of the overgrown cornfield, they must roll. So it's only if they begin their turn. Now let's look at another obstacle, which is the vegetable patch. This one is once per fight, each townsfolk may end their turn inside the vegetable patch and restore 1 HP. And finally, let's look at the mushroom grove. So mushroom grove, now this one has no condition here on this feature. It says 1 mox, eat a mushroom and roll. So as you can see, these are all the same. They're all features. You can move within them, but they all act differently. So, for example, this one, if you were to move into the mushroom grove, nothing happens, right? You don't need to roll on this. You can start, you can end, you can do whatever you want inside the mushroom grove, all you want. If you don't spend a moxie, you never have to roll on this. That is the same for vegetable patch. If you move into the vegetable patch, you don't heal. You must end your turn to heal. You can still start or do whatever you want. Now for overgrown cornfield, it's the same thing. If you begin their turn inside the overgrown cornfield, they must roll. If you just pass through it or end your turn in the overgrown cornfield, you do not need to roll, right? You're not going. This bad stuff's not going to happen to you if you're just passing through or just moving through or just ending your turn there. So features are not forced rolls. It's the same with obstacles. You need to spend a moxie in order to roll. If you don't have to do that either. It's optional. So I think those are all the rules that I didn't clarify exactly and that I saw in the comments or just saw in like Discords or stuff. So I just wanted to clarify all that. Now, let's get back to the actual game. So, here we go. We drew Bort, which I'm super happy about being able to fight Bort. Just full disclosure, I removed the people who were, or the ruffians that were part of the Tabletop Simulator. So that would be Hansy. Anyway, I just wanted to fight new ones. So these would be all new, not ones that we've seen in the first season I did. So I don't know who the other two are. I don't know, but I'm glad we got Bort. All right, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw our two new feats for each townsfolk. So I'm just going to read them real quick just to see if I can do any. If you roll a 2 or lower on it, no. Okay, this one I might be able to do. No, that one's probably not. Okay. It's difficult times again with these feats. They're not going to the right people who could easily do them. Now, let's do 3 town events. So, town event. Yancey's first. So, Yancey, all you can eat. There we go. The group stumbles upon an abandoned buffet table. Jolly day. You all, Georgie Irongut, not in group. Georgie Irongut in group. Georgie's viral corpse rushes ahead of everyone, filling its pocket with snacks for later. Georgie Irongut receives the Fresh Cake unique gear. Neat. Fresh Cake unique gear. All right, let me pull that out. One more thing with this box of cards here. So I've noticed, I just did a reboxing for this video, or for this game. I did a reboxing video for this game. But what I noticed with this specific thing, it was kind of difficult to get back out of the box. So as you can see here, this is the play tray for, you can see I cut the side off, right? So these go in here like this, in the actual big box. And there should be another piece that goes underneath this one. I cut it off. So now this sits in the box, and you can take it out. You can take this out, and then this, you can freely slide in the box, and then, you could get it straight up. Because with these things jammed in, they're so tight, like I could never lift this out. Like I couldn't get my fingers low enough. I couldn't rip it. I couldn't get it out. I was really pushing out the edges of the box, and I really like the box. I don't want to destroy the box. It's a good box. I like it. Like I said, with all the greystone and stuff, I really want to keep the box. I don't want to replace it. It's not an option for me. So I modified this. Cut off that bottom piece. It's not something I noticed right away when originally doing the unboxing and everything. It's one of those things you don't notice till like later, after you've played more. So let me just get this unique gear out of here. Because this should probably be in the play area. I might need to search for more. So discard fresh cake. Discard fresh cake and restore 2 HP. That's really good because we had actually lost our starting gear thing. Next we have Norman, potion maker. There we go. Potion Maker. A crazed, top-headed fellow speedily walks towards you. He's looking for some ingredients for his next potion. You may offer up a piece of consumable gear to the Potion Maker. Give consumable gear or offer nothing. The next ruffian you face seems altered. Begins the fight with +1 movement. Okay, +1 movement. Or I can get unique gear. Do I have a consumable that is not that awesome one that we just got? Kind of want to keep Fresh Cake. It's really good. We're having problems with Georgie because Frantic Eyes gives him -1 max HP. I haven't looked at the gear yet. I don't have it laid out on the table. As you can see here, I haven't gone through it, so I don't have that information whether or not I can buy something yet to increase his HP. But I think I really want to keep this Fresh Cake. So we're going to go ahead and give Bort here +1 movement. So I'm going to put this on Bort's card. Okay, last, Georgie Irongut. The Old Cemetery. The party decides to check in if any ruffians have gone grave robbing. Granny Melba not in group. Okay. Besides the backlogged pile of bodies in need of burying, you find nothing out of the ordinary. Okay. That's that. Let's fill our shop with stuff. Oh my. Hero's Sword, Archer Cap, Sharp Cheddar, Turtle Shell, Miner's Cap, Dog Leash, Aviator Glasses, Accordion Boots. Okay, all these things look pretty good. Alright, we can buy a lot of things. I'm thinking we're going to get that Hero Sword. I would really like that Hero Sword. So, in the buy order, we got Yancey first with 6. Yancey, what can you buy with 6? While in town, other townsfolk may pay you 5 coins and discard a piece of non-starting gear. If they do, they receive the first weapon in the peddler deck. Would someone like to pay him 5? I don't think anybody's going to want to try to give him 5. Would love to trade with him. Man, this weapon has +1 damage for each feat you've accomplished. Hero's Sword would be +3 damage if I could just do some feats. Can I get some feats done with Yancey? Okay. Okay. Well, he's already got. It's already going to do 1 damage for him because he's already completed 1 feat. I really think I want that. I think it'd be great to get that Hero Sword. I'm going to buy the Hero Sword. Oh wait, it's not Georgie. I was going accidentally in beating order here. It's Yancey first. Okay, so 6. He can buy the +1 to your town and event terrain rule. That's event and terrain rules. Okay, we're getting that. Definitely getting that. So the Rabbit's Foot, you're going to get back 1 change. Rabbit's Foot accessory. For sure. We definitely want terrain rules. I've noticed you definitely want to increase those terrain rolls. That's a thing. They sneak up on you, and you never know when you'll need them for final fights and stuff. So definitely want that. Next, we've got Norman. So Norman's got 8. He could get the Aviators. You deal damage with a whip or a gun. You may push the... Okay. He's got 8. He can get the Archer's Cap. The Mox cost to attack... Oh. Let me show the Rabbit's Foot. I forgot to put it underneath there because I just read it. But it's just +1 to your town event and terrain rolls. So that's what the Rabbit's Foot does for Yancey. I'm looking at... There's not really much that anybody can buy besides for Georgie. And we'll probably get that Hero Sword for 14. But with 8... Man. The Mox cost to attack with your ranged weapons is reduced by 1. I don't know. He just doesn't really have anything else to do. Would be nice to get on that cap, but sharp cheddar is an accessory. Man. I think I'm going to get the archer's cap, right? Might as well. It costs 7, so we'll spend 7 here. 5, 7. Get the archer's cap. So we're not going to do it just yet, or we'll change. So here's archer's cap. So the max cost with your ranged weapons is reduced by 1. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get that. We're going to take off his fishy cap because it doesn't really do anything for right now. But we're going to probably re-equip it. We'll probably just re-equip it later in the fight. So now we're getting that hero's sword. I don't care. I really like it. I really like the hero's sword. So melee, one-handed sword, 2 mox, 6+ accuracy, damage 0. This weapon has +1 damage for each feat you've accomplished to a maximum of +3. So it's going to cost 14, but we're definitely getting it. Georgie has enough. He had 15. So he's got himself the hero's sword now. So the second we start, we've already accomplished 1 feat. Because you can see here, the Kitty Savior, it counts as a 1-point feat of metal. So it counts as a feat, the Kitty Savior that we've done with him. So that's great. Now, that's the end of the shop, and we've already set up. So let me quickly put clean up the shop, flip over the thing, and put out Bort's stuff. Got everything set up for Bort. He's going to start with the See It All in play, because he is a hooligan. So for hooligan, devoted day tripper. Begin the fight with the See It All action card in play. So he's going to have 15 HP and 8 movement because he got himself +1. And then here we go, the See It All. Target none. Again, it's already in play. Move towards the farthest townsfolk. Doesn't matter. We're not doing any of that. Trigger the after effect, then play in the next card. It doesn't matter. We're just doing the bottom here. Keep this card in front of the townsfolk. When Bort draws an action with a camera on it, place a counter on this card. When there's at least 5 counters on this card, activate Bort's weaknesses. Okay, and then also, the other part of this is whenever a townsfolk would deal damage to Bort, they may choose to destroy one of Bort's photos. If they do, reduce the damage dealt by 1 and remove a counter from this card. So, we've got this in play. We're going to go ahead and put that here. We're going to move Bort up to the Ruffian because he's going to start. We're going to just, we're going to move Wagham's a little bit right there. We're going to put this right next to the AI discard so I always remember that it's not a discard. Okay, so he's going to start here with this already in play. It still is going to be his turn because he's Ruffian to start. So we draw. We're going to ask for directions. Bort convinces you to give him directions around town. You're too afraid to say no. Target closest townsfolk, which is Yancey, as we can see right here. It's going to be the closest townsfolk. Move towards the target. If Bort reaches them, trigger the after effect. So we're going to move towards the target. Now, just real quick, with the moving towards, you don't have to full move. You just stop when you reach him. So even though he's got 8 movement, you just stop. I should have said that last time, but so he just moves, he stops right before he reaches him so he can do his thing. Now let's go ahead. After effect. Place target in the bottom right corner of the landscape. Then place Bort adjacent to them. The target's legs are beat. Take 1 damage or lose 2 movement. Okay, so with placing, you don't move, right? You don't interact with terrain or anything. You just get placed there like magic. If it would have said move there, then you would have had to go through all terrain and everything. But so with placing, we're going to place the target in the bottom right corner of landscape. which is down here. Okay? And then place Bort adjacent to them. We're going to place Bort here. That's technically adjacent. All right. And then the target's legs or beak, they take 1 damage or lose 2 movement. We're going to definitely take 1 damage with Yancey because he doesn't have very much movement. So that's the discard. We didn't have any cameras. We didn't do any of that stuff. That's Bort's turn. And again, oops, I moved all these down. So we've got Georgie to start. Georgie has 4 movement, but he's not going to be able to get into the dense woods or do anything. So what he's going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, just get to here. Next is Norman. Now Norman can actually do stuff. So Norman has 4 movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to get himself to here. Then he's got range 2 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, he really can't get to it. No, he's got range 2 plus 2, so that's, yeah, range 4. Yeah, he can't attack him. So Norman can't do anything either. All right, so then Yancey, Yancey is going to attack with, well, we'll see what's inside this dense woods here. Costs 2 movement to enter any dense wood square. Does not affect ruffian movement via gear or abilities. So let me just read here. That's what the dense woods is doing. And then 1 mox, climb a tree, and climb higher. You gain +2 range with ranged weapons. All bonus range is lost when you move from your current square. If collision causes you to move out of the square, you take 2 damage. So we're definitely not going to be climbing anything because he might just get collided with right away. So we have 3 mox. Costs 2 movement to enter any dense wood square. So we already entered it, so we can move as normal. So he's got 3 movements. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3 and hope to get out of here. And then we're just going to attack. So Old Smacky costs 2 mox and it's a 5+ accuracy. We have no accuracy. Additional to that, so just a 5+. A 7, which is good enough to be 1 damage. Brings Bort down to 14. And that will be the end of the turn. We go back to Bort now. I could have removed camera tokens, but there aren't any there. So, dropped souvenirs. Bort rips his fanny pack. Target all townsfolk within 5 squares. If there are 2 or less townsfolk on the board, discard this. Okay, so we're going to discard it. All townsfolk within 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's also going to be Norman. So it's Norman and Yancey. Pointy souvenirs fall from Bort's fanny pack. Divide 3 damage between all targets. Players may choose. Move Bort towards the farthest townsfolk. All right. So the way this will work is Georgie is still technically the farthest townsfolk because it doesn't say farthest target. It still says farthest townsfolk. So we're going to move him towards. So he's going to go up 1. And then he's still got 7 movements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. He got him. Then we're going to divide 3 damage, but we're going to also trigger this after effect. So we've got 3 damage to divide, which is going to go to, all 3 is going to go to Yancey. And then he's going to discard his Smithy's Apron. Once per fight, prevent all damage dealt to you from an action. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So he's discarded his Smithy's Apron, prevented all that damage. He actually did this first blood. I just forgot to say it. So he's going to get himself +1 money, and he was the first to damage the Ruffian. So he's got himself 1 completed medal. He's going to get himself 1 coin. And now we do the after effect. So, after effect. Townsfolk who took the most damage from this action steals one of Bort's souvenirs. They receive the first piece of gear from the peddler deck worth 7 coins or less and may equip it immediately. That's nice. So, Yancey technically took all that damage, but then he prevented it. So he's the one who took the most damage. He did take 3. He just didn't actually have it, or he just prevented it all. So he's going to, whatever, the first piece of gear that's 7 or more. Hero's Cap. Hero's Woodwind. 7 or less, I mean. Sandals, which is leg gear. There it is. +1 movement. Man, we got rid of all of little Link's gear here. So, Hero's Cap, that's also Link's Ocarina. Oh, man. I wish I would have gotten some of that stuff. Oh, well. So, he's got +1 movement now, so we'll go ahead and move up to +1 movement. Good. Now, we triggered the after effects. Still don't have any camera pictures, no icons on the, no tokens on the thing. So, let's go with Georgie. So, Georgie, we need to defeat some stuff. If you roll a 2 or lower when attacking a ruffian, that's what he needs to do. So, because he's got the hero's sword, so that'd be really good. Rolling 2 or lower. We want to take damage from a multiple or a none. Or if your movement or mox accuracy is lowered by a ruffian. Those are the things we're hoping that will happen. We're hopefully going to roll a 2 or lower. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack for 3 mox with the Dad's Head Hammer. Just realized I forgot to put Old Smacky up last time. So Dad's Head Hammer is 3 mox. It's going to be 5 accuracy, but we got Frantic Eyes from Wagham's. So we've got +3 accuracy. So he's actually got himself +2 accuracy. So he's hitting on a 3+. 4 is good enough. So this hits. It's going to do 2 damage. It's going to trigger a breakpoint. All right. So triggering a breakpoint. This has a camera on it. Okay. Camera. Now I know where the camera is actually located, down in the bottom corner. Okay. Smiling face. Bort gains and focuses his camera on you. His smile instills you with fear. Target closest townsfolk. That's Georgie. The target can't help but flee in terror. They move 3 squares farther from Bort. If the target ends their turn inside or adjacent to a train piece, they clumsily collide with it and take 1 damage. Move Bort towards the farthest townsfolk. I don't think they're going to do any of that stuff because he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's not going to be adjacent to a terrain. So, turn inside or adjacent to a terrain piece. They clumsily collide with it, take 1 damage. Move Bort towards the furthest townsfolk. The target refuses to move closer to Bort out of embarrassment and fear. On the next turn, they cannot move closer to Bort. Okay. So they cannot move closer to Bort. So we'll go ahead. We'll leave that smiling face thing here. We're going to add a token to see it all. So it's got 1 token on it. And what are we going to do? Where is it? So move Bort towards the farthest townsfolk. So 1, 2, 3 is where Georgie is. 1, 2, 3. So Yancey. It's going to move closest to Yancey. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Spending a lot of time in the woods there. Let's pull you out of there. How about that? So Norman next needs to be within 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is within 4. All right, Norman, you're going to activate your, for 1 mox, or 2 mox. No, 1 mox because of Archer's Cap. I'm going to activate the Reliable Rod. It's going to be a 2+ for 1 damage, which is just normal. 1s always fail, so that's 1 damage. Brings Bort down to 11. Next is, let's see if we can do any of this stuff. Land a critical hit. Deal 2+ damage to Ruffian in a single turn with weapons. The 2+ damage we can't do. I can maybe land a critical hit. But other than that, it's going to be Yancey's turn. So Yancey is going to do... So these dense woods cost 2 movement to enter. It doesn't cost movement to get out. So we're going to go... He's got 3 movement. So we're going to... No, he's got 4 movement now. So we're going to attack, actually. With Old Smacky. This time I'll remember to put the card up. So we've got Mox 2. How much it cost? That we've got 3 Moxie, so we're good. 5 plus. We've got no accuracy, so it's still just 5 plus. So that's a miss. All right. Okay. Now we've got 4 movement. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, just to get to here. And next we've got Bort. So take the next card. Draw Bort here. No cameras. Here we go. Scrapbook. Bort puts together a photo collage of his time spent in Eureka Springs. Take a look. Closest townsfolk. That's Yancey. Move towards the target. If Bort reaches them, they deal 1 damage. After effect. Bort plops the scrapbook onto the target's toes and forces them to flip through the scrapbook. It's unbearable. For each action in the discard pile with a camera on it, the target must take 1 additional damage or lower their movement by 1. Okay, so we'll take the 1 damage. So we're going to go down the flow. We target him. We're taking 1 damage. Yancey goes down to 2. And then we're going to lower our movement by 1. So he's going to have 3 movement, which is fine because there's only 1 thing in there. I can tell how many are in there because I've already got 1 token. All right, so we're going to lower the movement by 1 instead. Must take 1 additional damage or lower their movement. So we're going to go ahead and lower the movement. Next, we've got Georgie, who cannot move closer because of... Oh, hey, actually, there was none in there. Yeah, there's none because... Oh, no, this is technically in the discard. I put it here on my thing to remind me, but it's technically in the discard. So, yeah. So this is here. Target refuses to move closer to Bort. Embarrassment on next turn. Okay, so they can't move closer to Bort. So what are we gonna do? Can't move any closer. I guess we can't move any closer. So it's just going to move down 1 space. Okay. That's the end of Georgie's turn. Now next, he can move close now. Norman, we're going to go and pull him out. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. I can be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can be here. All right. Norman, 2 Mox attacking. It's accuracy 2 plus. With his range 4 for 1 damage. That's a hit. 1 damage, down to 10. We'll pull him back to 1, 2, closer towards us. All right. And Yancey now. Yancey will go ahead and move here. And attack with Old Smacky, which is just 2 Mox, 5 plus. Miss. So Old Smacky. I really should unequip this Old Smacky and be using the Horned Duckling. I cannot roll with Horned Smacky, like, at all. Or I cannot... Old Smacky, I just cannot roll. I'm not doing very well. Okay, here we go. Scenic Picnic. Bort has himself a little picnic among the foliage. Closest terrain feature. Well, he's in one, so I guess it's that. Attempt to move completely into the target. He already is. Bort enters the target. Trigger the after effect. Alright. Bart enjoys a sandwich from his fanny pack while snapping shots of scenery. He restores 1 HP and feels inspired. If the see it all action is in play, add 1 counter to it. If not, search in the action deck, play it immediately, then reshuffle the... Oh, it's already in play, so he's just going to add a token. Fair enough. I still don't feel the need to be removing these too much. His weakness. What is his weakness? Vacation complete. Bort runs out of film and declares his vacation over. He thanks each townsfolk for their hospitality and leaves Eureka Springs forever. The fight immediately ends. No ruffian gear is rewarded, but each townsfolk receives an extra town event card in the next town phase. Okay, so I don't really want that to happen. Now I forget if I restored HP. I'm just going to restore HP. I can't remember if I did. Okay. So he's restored HP. That was Yancey's... Oh, that was his turn. Now it's Georgie's turn, who can move closer. Who can't get into range anyway, because he's only got... Oh, no, he's got 4 movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Dad's Head Hammer. Again, it's going to be a 3+. No, wait. Yeah, 3+. That's right. I have 2 accuracy. So that's a hit. 2 damage with the head hammer. So it brings him down to 9. Next is Norman. So he's within range. I think I can actually get to here and still be within range. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So, oh, I've never even put roulette. Well, roulette, it's just a 1+ to do 1 damage. So that's still 1 damage. So he does 1 damage, brings him down to 8. And Yancey, we're going to... it's a 5+. Miss. Okay, that's it for Yancey, who has not done any damage. Okay, this one has a camera on it. Capture the aesthetics. Bort snaps some shots of your eccentric outfit. It really embodies the town's culture. Okay, townsfolk with the most equipped gear. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's Yancey or Georgie. It's a roll-off. So 6 for Georgie. 2. So Georgie. No, 2 lowest. It's Yancey. Move towards the target. If Bort reaches them, deal 1 damage. Okay, so Bort's going to reach them and deal 1 damage. If there are 2+ actions in the discard pile with a camera on it, I think there is only 1 action in the discard pile because this card is not discarded yet. 1. There is only 1 in there with the discard pile. Okay. Bort's camera flash is working overtime. It's so hot, it singes your skin. Tars takes it. Okay, so nothing, but he's going to get another token on here. So I should probably start removing these tokens now. That's the end of Bort's turn. Georgie is going to roll himself a 5+. Spend his 3 mocks. It's going to be a 5+ to do 2 damage. No, a 3+ to do 2 damage. Oh, he rolled a 1. I mean, that's terrible. It's a miss, but if you roll a 2 or a lower, when attacking the ruffian, he's going to get $2. So we're going to go ahead and take that $2. He's got himself a 2nd feat completed. So now the hero's sword is doing 2 damage as well, which is great. Sucks that I missed, but what can you do? Norman, just anything but a 1. 9 is not a critical, but it is 1 damage. It comes down to 7. What is it I can do? Whenever townsfolk would deal damage to Bort, they may choose to destroy one of Bort's photos. If they do, reduce the damage dealt by 1 and remove a counter. No, I'll just trigger the thing. That's fine. I'll trigger the... Oh, wait, no, because then he could get himself to 5. I won't trigger it. I'll leave him at 8 and remove one of these counters. Okay, now Yancey is going to 5+. A 9. It's not a wound, or it's not a critical, but is enough to remove another one of these counters. Okay. That was just pretty much a counter removal. Alright, Bort's turn. Meet and greet. Bort can't wait to meet the locals. He's so nervous. Closest townsfolk. It's going to be Georgie. It's the highest. Georgie or Yancey. That Georgie's got himself a 10. Oh, wow. Okay, there goes both my crits probably. That's 3 crits in a row. This is kind of getting ridiculous. That's 4 crits in a row. This is totally ridiculous now. I don't what is happening. Okay, there's a so it's a 2 for Georgie. And okay, so Yancey gets targeted again because he was the highest. That was ridiculous. Move towards the target. If Bort reaches them, trigger the okay. Bort shakes your hand with a monstrous grip. Target takes 2 damage and cannot attack on their next turn. Okay. 2 damage would kill him, so we're going to discard our wooden plank. Once per fight, prevent all damage dealt to you or adjacent townsfolk. So we're going to prevent all damage dealt to him by discarding the wooden plank, and we'll take no damage, but we still can't attack him. All right. Georgie, you can attack, well, take damage from a ruffian action whenever a target is none or man, I really wish I would have gotten targeted with Georgie, but what can I do? Okay, so the hammer now, we're starting with Georgie. It's going to be a 3+, 6, that'll do 2 damage. We're going to do that 2 damage. Brings Bort down to 6. It's going to trigger a break. There we go. No camera. What a deal. Bort thinks you're a street vendor. Okay. Townsfolk with the most equipped gear. Oh, well. Now it just is Georgie. Alright. Move towards target. Bort reaches them. Trigger the after effect. You're left speechless as Bort buys gear right off your back. Target rolls. Oh, no. Oh, no. Man, he's got good gear. He's got great gear. Oh, discard an equipped piece of gear of your choice. Receive 1 coin. Discard all equipped, or discard and equipped piece of gear of your choice. You receive coins equal to half its value. Discard an equipped piece of gear of your choice. You receive coins equal to its value. Okay, this is terrible regardless of what happens. Oh, okay. Well, I can discard something and receive coins equal to its value. So 0 either way. Great. So the reason why I say 0 either way, I'm just going to lose. I get to lose something of my choice, which is. So I don't want to discard the hero's sword because that's going to be really good. I don't want to discard Dad's head hammer. I guess I should discard Dad's head hammer. I'm going to discard Dad's head hammer. Kind of sucks, but what can I do? Discarding this, I got no money. I would have rather rolled lower and gotten 1. Like if I would have rolled a 1 to 5 and discarded this, because I don't want to discard anything else. So if I would have rolled a 1, it would have been better, because I would have got at least money for this, but this is starting value. It has no value, so I get nothing. So that sucks. Okay, well it does no damage. Can't even complete a feat for doing it. Okay, so I just lost the hammer. Whatever. Good thing I bought the hero sword. Good thing I bought the hero sword. Alright. Georgie has no choice now but to attack with the hero's sword. So it's going to be 2 Moxie. And it's going to be a 4+ for 2 damage. So 2 damage. This triggers another break. Oh, wait. That was a break. That wasn't his turn. Okay. That what a deal was a break. So that's my bad. So we're just going to not even count that next attack. It's actually Norman's turn, who just got anything but a 1 does 1 damage. Oh, he rolled a crit. Nice. So we're going to roll a crit here. So first off, regardless, it's going to be a crit. So we're going to cocky marksman here. Land a critical hit. And we're going to take 3 coins for that. So 1, 2, 3. Regardless. Great. So now we'll roll the actual crit itself. Is another crit. What is going on? This is madness. Rolling so many crits. Holy moly. You send bits of the ruffian flying. Receive the ruffian gear marked with the star on the rewards. You may equip it immediately. It already has been activated. Deal an extra damage. So we're going to get whatever the plus or the star is. And we deal 1 damage. So he comes down to 5. Let's get out the star gear. Holy cow. So many crits. I rolled like 4 doing that AI, doing just a simple targeting action. Ruffian gear. Let's go for Bort here. Bort's star gear. This is crazy. Bort's star gear. Bort. His camera, his fanny pack. Bort's face. What? Wow. Okay. It's kind of weird. It's kind of really weird. Bort's face. Okay. +1 mox. If there is ever a tie for targeting, you may choose which is targeted, even if you're not one of the possible targets. It's crazy. Okay. So I think I'm just going to equip that right away. Yeah, I am going to equip it right away. So even though it doesn't do anything for me, the reason why I want to equip it right away is I want to get it to target Georgie, because Georgie's got this. So take damage from a ruffian action when the target is none or multiple targets. So if there's a way for him to target multiple people, I can use Bort's face to have it target Georgie and then have Georgie take the damage, and then he'll complete the feat, triggering his hero's sword up to 3 damage. So I will be equipping Bort's face. Doesn't really do anything because the archer's cap wasn't really doing anything either. So now it's Yancey. All right, Yancey, let's go with Old Smacky. Just 5+ to do damage. A 1, so it does nothing. I have yet to do any damage, I think, with Yancey. This is crazy. It's the same exact thing happened last time. All right, here we go. Bort. All right. Target none. Oh, so this is a target of none. Awesome. Shuffle this action as well as every action in the discard pile with a camera on it back into the action deck, then play the next action. Okay, well, we're not targeting any damage from this. So we're going to do our film restock. It's going to do this. All the camera actions. So there's 1, 2. Okay, so he's shuffling just these. It's a really neat mechanic as a way for him to get these camera pictures up there. Really good mechanic. It actually filters his deck. It's actually a really neat card. It's a really well-designed card, because now I have a feeling I'm going to keep just drawing these snap cards. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Board games. Yeah. Okay. Closest Townsfolk. I think I've already done Smiley Face. Well, I'll read again just in case. Bort gains and focuses his camera on you. His smile instills you with fear. Closest town. Yeah, this is the one who refuses to move closer. So closest Townsfolk, that's Yancey or... Well, there's a tie. So, if there's ever a tie for targeting, you may choose which target. So, yeah, I'm going to choose Georgie. If there's a way for this to do damage, I'm going to take Georgie. Target can't help it. They flee in terror. They move 3 squares farther from Bort. The target ends their turn inside or adjacent to the thing. They clumsy collide, take 1 damage, and then move Bort to closest Townsfolk. Target refused to move closer. Oh, well, he's going to move 3 away. I think he's actually going to be the farthest target. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He is the farthest target. So he's going to move. Bort's just going to move right closer to him. Awesome. Target. Now I don't have to worry about moving closer because he moved himself closer. So that's going to put 1 camera on, or 1 thing on here. Now I got to start moving these camera things because the deck's going to keep reshuffling itself, and I'm going to keep drawing these cameras now. Okay, so that was Bort's turn. Now it's Georgie. So go ahead, Georgie, with your hero's sword. It's doing 2 damage on a 4+. 3, that's a miss. Okay, perfect. I was hoping I would miss. Norman, I think I can get closer, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I can get closer to this pond. I really want to get next to this pond and then re-equip the helmet. So, Reliable Rod, I'm going to do 1 damage on any. That's a hit. We're going to remove a camera thing. And then Yancey, 1, 2, 3. right? How much Yancey's movement? Yeah, Yancey's got 3 movement. And old Smacky. He actually did damage for once. Great. He'll go ahead and trigger the break, because if it targets him, that'd be fine. So triggering the break, I knew it would have a camera. I'm probably going to get 3 more lens things on here. Okay. Trip and slip. Bort trips over his own shoes while taking a photo. He's embarrassed. Closest townsfolk. Okay, I'm going to have it target Georgie again because I've got Bort's face. Move townsfolk toward the target. If Bort reaches them, trigger the after effect. Bort topples over, slowly returning to his feet. Seems quite unfazed compared to the target. Flattened beneath him. Bort takes 1 damage while the target suffers 2 damage. Oh! Well, it's going to kill Georgie, but at the same time, he's going to trigger that feat. So, that's worth it in my book. So, what we're going to do is, okay, so that's going to discard it. We're going to add another token here. It's going to take 2 damage to Georgie. It's going to kill him, but he's going to catch a bad break because there was something that targeted multiple townsfolk. Well, no, it didn't target multiple townsfolk. It targeted single townsfolk, now that I think about it. So, yeah, it's targeting a single townsfolk, but has multiple target options. So it's not technically targeting multiple. So, the better thing to do would be to have this actually target Yancey and kill Yancey. I think that's the better thing. Yeah, I think it targeting Yancey and killing Yancey is actually better because there's no way for me to get just bad break. Okay, that is the better way. Because it still is a single... okay, so this is going to target Yancey, and he's going to fall on Yancey, and he's going to take 1 damage, and then target suffers 2. So that's actually going to kill Yancey. It would have been better had I done Bort's face to target Yancey. That was a mistake because I was not reading correctly until after it actually had happened, and then it dawned on me it's still only a single target. Okay, so we can try to kill him this turn, hopefully, because it's his turn right now. Here's another camera thing. Okay, closest townsfolk. Move the target, close the target. If Bort reaches them, deal 1 damage. So closest townsfolk now going to be Georgie. It's going to deal 1 damage. Target has the perfect opportunity to snatch Bort Press's photo collection. If the See It All action card is in play, the target may take an additional 1 damage to remove all counters from it. Well, I'm not going to do that because that would kill Georgie. He only has 2 health. So that's going to go there. This is going to put another target or another thing on Bort here. Georgie's going to take 1 damage. Okay. Now it's Georgie's turn. He's going to consume the fresh cake to heal himself for free because it doesn't cost any Moxie to do that, and then he doesn't have to discard it. Now, if he can attack... yeah, he needs to attack and do 1 damage. So, it's going to be a 4+. That is a 4+, so that's just going to do 2 damage, actually. That brings Bort down to 1. How much Moxie do I have? I only have 2 Moxie. So I'm going to go here, next to the pond now. Oh no, I have to attack first. 1, 2, 3. So I just can't roll a 1. As long as I don't roll a 1, I will kill Bort. A 7. Good. So that kills Bort with Norman. Okay. Otherwise, what I would have done was if I would have missed, I would have backed up here. Next turn, re-equip, and then try to throw the fishy cap at him. But that's it. There. We killed him. We killed Bort. So, Ruffian Gear Rewards. Bort face, Bort's camera, Bort's fanny pack. So, everybody did defeat him. Everyone's going to get 6. We'll see what we get here. Whew. That was a long, long fight. Not much moving around. He kind of just stood there and took our pictures. Let's get Bort's other 2 gear, which is the fanny pack. Where is it? Bort's fanny pack or his camera. Let's put those both down. The person who completed the most feats gets it, which I think everybody completed one. Norman and Georgie completed one because Yancey died, so he's not part of the option to win a gear card. So let's go ahead. They both completed one. This is Georgie, a 4. Norman, so Norman gets it. Norman's getting everything between one of these two. We're just gonna put them out here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get the first one. A 9. We get the second one. Bort's fanny pack. This is special gear. You may equip accessories in any gear slot. Well, well, well. Special gear, huh? Okay. Special gear. You can equip accessories in any gear slot. Well, that's perfect. All right. This is actually supposed to go back. I'll have to put that back in the card box. Oh, right. So, everybody gets their 6. That puts Georgie here at 9 money. It puts Yancey also at 9 monies. And Norman here at 10 monies. Good for Norman. Not a super ton of money here, but, you know, it is what it is. So, all in all, pretty good. Norman's got himself way too many hats. Deal 2+ damage? No. Restore 1 HP? Nope. 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 We can discard some of these feats. I'll look them over. I'm having really hard trouble. I'm having a really hard time completing these feats. I'm probably just going to have to discard all of them again. So, but we killed Bort. Bort was super fun. That was a really cool mechanic here. This is really neat. With the reshuffling of the camera stuff to keep them, like, so it keeps going. It really accelerates the fact he's going to run away near the end of the fight. Like, the longer you wait to draw that card that shuffles in the cameras, the faster he's going to activate his thing. So that was really neat. That's a really cool decision to do that with the AI cards. So thank you so much for watching. We'll come back. We'll do the next fight, which is going to be, I'll just flip it now. Oh, the Bundits. Awesome. So the next one's against the Bundits. We'll move this down. So Norman will be first, Yancey, and then Georgie last. And we're going to fight the Bundits. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.